Overthinking is one of the most common and silent enemies of modern minds. It's like a thief that steals your peace without you even noticing. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, understood that the mind has a natural tendency to wander and spiral into endless loops of thought. But they also believed that this is not the nature of a free mind. Imagine you have a beautiful garden. Your mind is that garden. Overthinking is like weeds that grow silently, choking the flowers and suffocating your inner peace. But unlike physical weeds, these mental weeds are invisible, yet they cause the deepest harm. Why do we fall into this trap? Because our minds are wired to predict, to anticipate, to prepare for the future. This natural instinct becomes a curse when it turns into constant what-if scenarios, doubts, and fears. You might find yourself awake at night, unable to stop replaying conversations, imagining worst-case scenarios, or worrying about decisions you've already made. The problem with overthinking is that it is unproductive. It doesn't solve problems, it magnifies them. It creates paralysis by analysis, where the mind is stuck in indecision, unable to act. The Stoics taught that action is the remedy to this ailment. Marcus Aurelius once wrote in his Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This simple truth is the foundation of overcoming overthinking. When you understand that your thoughts are within your control and external events are not, you begin to reclaim your freedom. In the coming parts, we will explore how to recognize overthinking, why it happens, and the powerful Stoic techniques to break free from it. You'll learn how to shift from endless worry to focused action, from fear to courage. Remember, the mind is a servant, not a master. It's time to take back control. To conquer overthinking, we first need to understand why it happens. Our minds are not designed to be calm all the time. In fact, they are naturally restless, always seeking patterns, solutions, or dangers. From an evolutionary perspective, this mental hyperactivity was a survival tool. Our ancestors needed to predict threats and prepare for uncertain futures to stay alive. But in today's world, where physical threats are fewer and the pace of information is overwhelming, this instinct often backfires. Imagine your mind as a wild horse. When untamed, it gallops uncontrollably, throwing you off balance. Overthinking is that wild ride where your thoughts race ahead without direction or control. But there's more. Overthinking is often rooted in fear. Fear of failure, rejection, or making the wrong choice. This fear traps you in a loop of endless what-ifs, where the worst possible outcomes dominate your imagination. The Stoics taught that much of our suffering is caused not by the events themselves, but by our judgments about them. Epictetus: "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When you recognize that your fears and doubts are just judgments, interpretations rather than facts, you gain the power to change your mindset. This awareness is the first step to breaking free from overthinking. You start to observe your thoughts objectively, like a philosopher watching a play unfold. You realize that many worries are baseless stories created by your mind, not realities you have to accept. In the next parts, we'll dive into practical Stoic tools, mental exercises, and daily habits that can train your mind to silence the noise and act with clarity. Remember, mental peace is not the absence of thoughts, but mastery over them. One of the most powerful tools to combat overthinking is what the Stoics called the pause. It's a deliberate moment, a space between stimulus and response, where you regain control. Think about it. How often do you react instantly to a worry or a stressful thought? That reaction fuels the cycle of overthinking, spiraling deeper into anxiety. Marcus Aurelius advised himself daily to pause and reflect. This simple act of stepping back gives you a chance to assess reality objectively, rather than being swept away by emotional currents. During this pause, ask yourself, is this thought helpful or harmful? Is this within my control? What would a wise person do right now? By training yourself to insert this pause, you create a mental boundary that breaks the chain of automatic, overwhelming thoughts. This practice is not about suppression, but about awareness and choice. It transforms your mind from a wild horse into a disciplined steed, responsive and steady. Over time, the pause becomes a habit. Your mind learns to respond with calmness and clarity, not with chaotic noise. In the following parts, we'll explore how to build this habit and integrate it into daily life, reinforcing your mental strength. In a world that never stops shouting, cultivating stillness becomes an act of rebellion and a cornerstone of Stoic strength. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Your restless mind is like turbulent waters. Only when the surface calms can you see clearly beneath. Stillness is not merely the absence of noise. It is a presence, a deep rootedness in the moment that shelters your mind from chaos. To cultivate stillness, start by acknowledging the constant pull of distractions, notifications, worries, judgments. These are the sirens of the mind, beckoning you away from peace. Yet the Stoic mind learns to turn inward, to create a sanctuary untouched by external storms. Through meditation, breath, or quiet reflection, you anchor yourself. This anchoring allows you to witness thoughts as passing clouds rather than permanent storms. You do not fight them. You observe, letting them pass with detachment. The more you cultivate this inner stillness, the less you become a slave to fleeting emotions and external opinions. In doing so, your clarity sharpens, your decisions gain weight, and your spirit deepens. This is the soil from which unbreakable mental strength grows, a strength that does not waver regardless of life's turbulence. Every moment presents a choice, to react or to respond, to be swept by impulse or to stand firm in reason. Epictetus reminded us, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This simple truth unlocks the essence of Stoic mental strength. When faced with adversity, the mind trained in Stoicism does not surrender to chaos or despair. Instead, it exercises its sovereign power, the power of choice. You may not control the external event, but you always control your attitude toward it. Imagine life as a vast ocean with waves of challenge and change. You are the captain of your ship, steering not against the storm, but through it with calm and clarity. Each choice to stay grounded strengthens your resolve. Each moment you decide not to be ruled by emotion but guided by reason, you reclaim your freedom. This freedom is the birthright of the Stoic, a mind disciplined, focused, and unyielding. Remember, the power is always in your hands, in the present moment. Harness it well, and no force outside can shake you. Resilience is not a gift bestowed at birth. It is cultivated, nurtured, and forged in the fires of daily discipline. Marcus Aurelius practiced self-mastery each day, reminding himself that obstacles are opportunities for growth. In the quiet moments of reflection, the Stoic mind prepares for the trials ahead, not with fear, but with readiness. Building mental resilience means embracing discomfort as a teacher. It means waking each day with intention, ready to face what comes without complaint or resistance. Visualize resilience as a muscle, strengthened only by consistent effort. Each challenge you meet with composure adds weight to your mental foundation. Over time, this foundation becomes unshakable. You learn not just to endure hardship, but to thrive because of it. So, engage in daily practice. Set your intentions each morning. Reframe adversity. Choose your responses. And in doing so, you become the Stoic warrior of your own life. In a world overflowing with distractions, the ability to focus is a rare and powerful weapon. Epictetus taught that where attention goes, energy flows. Your mind is like a garden. What you water grows, what you neglect withers. The scattered mind is a weakened mind. To build mental strength, cultivate focused attention. Start by identifying the moments when your mind drifts. Gently guide it back to the present. Practice this daily, during work, conversation, even rest. Focus sharpens your perception and heightens your awareness. It allows you to see opportunities where others see obstacles. With focused attention, you are no longer a passive participant in life. You become an active creator of your reality. Harness this power and watch as your resilience and confidence deepen. The Stoics knew that growth comes from embracing discomfort, not avoiding it. Seneca said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." When you resist pain, you strengthen pain's hold over you. When you face it with courage, it loses its power. Discomfort is a teacher disguised as a challenge. It reveals your true character. Each moment of struggle is an opportunity to build resilience. Lean into the discomfort. Let it mold you like fire-shaped steel. Remember, the unshakable mind is forged in trials, not ease. In a noisy world, silence is a radical act. Marcus Aurelius practiced this daily, finding peace not by changing the world, but by mastering his mind. When chaos surrounds you, cultivate an inner sanctuary of calm. Silence isn't absence, it's presence. Presence of mind, presence of spirit. It's in this silence that clarity arises. From clarity, true power flows. Practice stillness in your breath, your thoughts, your actions. Let the world shout. You respond with quiet strength. Your inner silence will be your loudest statement. True strength is not in muscle or might, but in the unbreakable calm within. Seneca reminds us, "He who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior." This mastery begins with knowing yourself, your fears, your desires, your triggers. With this knowledge comes control. Control over reactions, impulses, and emotions. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be present. Each moment, each choice, is your training ground. Build resilience with patience and persistence. This is the Stoics' journey. Unshakable strength through wisdom and discipline. And as you walk this path, remember, the greatest power lies in mastery of self.